God judges you by the fruits that you bear on the tree of your life, because God's concept of being good is holistic. It's not based on the law of averages, it's not based on probability, it's something definite. God does not measure you based on an average of good deeds outnumbering bad deeds, because deeds, beloved, can be quite pretentious and disingenuous, and the motives of those good deeds, so-called, can also be selfish. And God is not to be fooled. He is all-wise. So God's concept of goodness is measured only from fruit bearing, cause and effect. It is measured from genuine organic results that are based upon the interworking of the principles that you hold most dear in your life. So a good tree cannot produce bad fruit. A good tree will only produce good fruit because the tree in itself is inherently good. So if you say you are a Christian, God judges you based on how you live what you believe. So if you say the tree of your life is a Christian tree, God judges your life based upon the fruit that the tree of your life produces. Therefore, the fruit of your actions must then be Christian fruit. And there then is no excuse because you claim to be a Christian. So if you say that you are a Christian, God judges you based upon how you live your Christianity. If you say that you are honest, He judges you on your honesty and integrity, because what you say, you confess with your mouth what kind of tree you are. So if you say you are an honest tree, He's looking on the tree of your life for honest fruit. So if you say that you are honest, He judges you on your honesty and integrity when no one is looking or holding you accountable, but rather whether or not you hold yourself accountable to what you claim to believe without the training wheels of public opinion. Many people are only honest simply because other people are looking at them. Many people are not thieves because there is a security guard in the store, but remove the security guard, will they steal? And most people would, because there are no eyes that are now looking at them. And so this is how God judges the fruit of the trees of our life. And we must understand the importance of bearing fruit, because our influence is the fruit of our lives. Our influence is the impression of our character on the lives of others. Who we are is our character, and when we associate with others, the imprint of our character has a weight upon them. This is our influence. This is the fruit of who we really are. So our influence is our unconscious natural selves without pretense. It is who we are. We are no longer now pretending. This is who we organically and naturally are. So it's within the natural purpose and process of trees, beloved, to produce fruit. So naturally we produce fruit, and we are judged by who we naturally are or become. So what Christ is doing, He is seeking to graft His natural self, His character, into our natural selves, our character. And this is why we can't pretend to be Christians, because pretense is unnatural. So he cannot join his natural product to a synthetic product. So pretense is synthetic, and his character is natural. They do not join. It would be unequally yoked together. We can't simply, beloved, obey the law of God because it's his requirement. That's called legalism. The law of God must become natural to us, guiding our way of thinking, of acting. The law of God must be grafted into our way of thinking and acting. And this is how we fall in love with the law of God. And so that may seem an oxymoron, but the graft only occurs when we give the graft permission to happen. When we give God's character, God's law permission to be grafted in our natures, oh beloved. So we only fall in love with the law of God when we see the value of it, when we see the fruit of each tenet of God's law and how God's law brings our natures into harmony with his nature and into harmony with the society that he has established for us to live in heaven. We only desire the law of God when we recognize its value. And when we recognize that the law of God cultures us to exist and live in the society of heaven. And this is what Psalms chapter 19 verse 7 means when it says, the law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The law of God is able to convert us when we behold its perfection, because we have now recognized its true value, what it does for us, what it does for society. The law of the Lord then is able to convert us when we value its purpose, when we value its power, and when we value the transformative process that it brings into our life. So therefore we must allow God's law to be grafted into the tree of our lives, and that the tree of our lives would be nourished by his word and watered by his spirit to bring forth fruit unto righteousness. And this is how God knows us, by this fruit that we bear on the tree of our lives. This is the Word of Life with Andre Knight.